I was driving my 72 C10 around the neighborhood and it just started sputtering and shut off. So I coasted into this parking lot right here. It's about 3 blocks from my house. You can see it's not squirting nothing. Like the carburetor is empty. When I took the fuel filter loose, this rusty fuel came out of it, and you can see where it stained my spark plug wire and where it's on the fender. So I seen this fuel filter had all that rusty stuff come out of it, and I'm just gonna do the most simple thing first. Let's just change that filter real quick. Pour some more gas in it. It should have gas in it. I think I poured 6 gallons in it and barely drove it since then. But just make basics. You have to have gas in the gas tank. Okay, if it doesn't start and run, I'll put a fuel pump on it. Getting some of that 93 octane in there. And I got my new filter. Well, it looks like it wasn't the fuel filter, so I got a fuel pump now. And I got to go change it out there on the driveway where it's at. All right, I got the fuel pump off. And look at all that grease somebody put in there. That wasn't me. Got the new pump on there. Time to go try it. So let's see what it does. Let me go ahead and start it. It's running. I need to fix those wires, but that'll be all right. Right back how she was. Oh man, it's hot out here. I'm gonna go take this truck back. When I was under there digging around, I found it. My radiator hose has been rubbing my frame, and I need to replace that. All right, so I was just driving, and the motor shut off, and when I parked, it would crank but no start. That's basically what it was doing. And the bad thing about watching videos of somebody diagnosing their car is the chances are yours might not have the same problem. I did notice that my AFR was really lean whenever I started. It was like at 15 or something. That was probably just because it wasn't warmed up, or I'm not sure. But it did start up, and I could drive it. Drives fine. Also, whenever I opened up whenever I took the fuel filter off, there was no pressure. There was no gas in the line. So I should have known better. I should have not even wasted my time to just change a filter. I should have got the pump as well. I know this is a different kind of carburetor than that Carter is, but they all kind of have the same things in them. And see, whenever you hit the throttle, if you don't see gas coming out of these holes, this is where the squirters are on this one. The other ones look a little bit different, but it's just 2 little holes that squirt gas. Whenever you squish the throttle, it's accelerator pump. It squirts the gas out right there. If it doesn't do that, then you know the fuel bowl doesn't have any fuel in it. There's a possibility that the accelerator pump is just bad. But if that was the case, it would still run. It would only try to die or fall on its face whenever you hit the gas kind of hard, like if you're trying to accelerate, but it should idle like that. I mean, it will idle like that. Also, whenever you have, the fuel line goes in right here. And that's the other half of the needle and seat. This is the little valve that whenever the float has a certain level, whenever the bowl has a certain level of fuel, this floats up and pushes that to close off the valve. Okay, so if you unscrew the line going into your carburetor, it should be maintaining a little bit of pressure. They work off of like 5 to 10 pounds or something like that. Just enough to where you can tell the line is full and it will spray out a little bit. Mine didn't have that, so I already knew that, I kind of knew it was the fuel pump. But since the filter has so much rust in it, I was thinking, well, maybe it's just really clogged that bad. But whatever, I wasted an extra trip to the auto parts. It doesn't really matter. One more common problem you could have with any carburetor is whenever that needle and seat doesn't work. Like that's the needle valve. Like I guess this Teflon tip or whatever gets like worn out or something, or it could get like trash in it as well. And if it stops working, what will happen is it'll flood the carburetor. The bowl will get too full of fuel, and the way you could diagnose that is like you would have to, whenever the car quits, you would have to look in there, and whenever the motor's not running, and you'll see it just dripping fuel. You know, that's called flooding. And that's like the two major problems that you would have with an older carbureted engine that will leave you stranded. Last but not least is this guy. This is your distributor cap. It has a coil in it right here. And on the other half of it, it has an ignition module. I think it's like a little computer, I'm not really sure. But anyway, if you have fuel in your carburetor and it still doesn't start, well, you just have to check and see if it has spark. You can do that with a little inline spark tester. And if you don't have spark, don't waste your time taking this apart and trying to figure out if it's the coil or the module or some kind of, I think there's some kind of other magnetic pickup or something more in the bottom of it that could go bad too, I think. But don't waste your time. A distributor is like $50. Just take the whole thing out and throw it away and put a new one in it. Oh, well, before you do that, where it says bat, you have to make sure you have a 12 volt wire going to here from the ignition. Whenever you turn the ignition switch on, it needs to have a 12 volt wire here. So if you don't have that, then your distributor might be good. You see what I'm saying? You have to make sure you have 12 volts before you condemn the distributor. You know, I wish I could have done a better job of showing the repair that I did, but I was on the side of the road, and I mean, I was in a parking lot, and I didn't have a tripod with me. All I had was my phone, so that was the best I could do. But then I wanted to share some knowledge on how to get your stuff running, because I've actually been doing this for years. I've actually daily drove a vehicle with a carburetor on it, a small block Chevy, you know, 2 or 3 different ones for like the first like 15, 16 years I had a license. So I think I do have a little bit of credibility. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I've dealt with those a lot. And those things that I mentioned, that is the things that, in my experience, those are the only things that ever left me stranded. Well, of course, you could have a dead battery, but you know, that's a different area. Or your motor could blow up. I've had a timing chain break and my motor lock up. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. The end.